started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
Welcome to City Girls Make Do. Welcome back to City Girls Make Do, your number one Sex in the City podcast, hosted by me, Stephanie, your number one Calliope Homestuck stan.
Me, Alex, and I'm an anteater.
We should have left like a 15-second pause after that to imagine you making a face.
Everyone just picture me staring coyly into the camera after that. It's just a dedication to our favorite show. But anyway, let's carry on.
I'm Summer, and I'm a stewardess.
True. And you're not even lying about this. So
no, that's the most factually accurate opening we've ever had.
Yeah, we brought in our expert this week for a special episode. We're doing season 3, episode 12 this week, which is Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And we got a wedding episode this week. So you're kind of a double whammy because we got the flight attendant plot, but then we also have the wedding plot.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. So you're our resident gal here.
We have the best. We have the best guests. We always call for a good ringer and
the best fit.
Yeah, I love having a friend on. We
love
love
Summer.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Aw. This is your, third time on? It's good.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I think that makes you tied for like most recurrent guests then.
So with Sarah?
Oh my God. With Sarah, probably, yeah.
Oh, 2 S's. Should we get into this bag?
Please, yeah. It's a long one.
It's long, but somehow I have less notes than usual. But
I think I've stopped caring, and by like season 5, there won't be notes.
Valid. Yeah, no, this one starts out with Miranda doing like a speed dating thing. It's like an 8-minute speed dating thing. Basically, we get Carrie's voiceover that says like the only thing worse to Miranda than being a 34-year-old bridesmaid is being a 34-year-old bridesmaid without a date. Because Charlotte's wedding's in a week now. So this episode, takes place over a week.
And they call it a multi-date, which I've never heard before.
But also, I've just never done this, so.
I was going to say, I don't think this is like a real thing. I've never heard of anyone doing it.
Yeah, you've had speed dating, maybe it's like 5 minutes or something. That's still speedy compared to an actual date. That's kind of the point.
I think it's just speed dating, and they just decided to give it a weird name for shits.
And so she's talking to these guys, and like there's one, he's a banker, and he's very aggressive. And then she says she's a lawyer, and he just shuts off. And she tells the next guy, "Oh, I'm a lawyer," and he shuts off. And she's like, "I went to Harvard, I'm a lawyer." And they're not interested.
So fake to me.
Yeah, they just don't give a shit. And it's like they're like obviously bored by it too. It's not even just like they're kind of like, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Like, it's very awkward. I'm like, you're full on just like looking in other directions while she's talking to you.
Yeah, like checking out the waitress, and it's a bit vague.
Yeah. But the tides turn when she stops saying she's a lawyer. Because the next guy comes up and she says, "I'm a stewardess." And the guy just looks super interested. He loves it. He loves this.
Yeah, there's like this weird like stereotype about how like flight attendants are supposed to be really sexy, but I just don't. Like you end up like coming out of work and you've got like these like what do you call them? Pantyhose lines all over your stomach. So sexy. And you smell like hundreds of people and ugh, yeah. I'm really not making myself sound great right now, but
that's fine.
It's valid.
I think it is like a sort of a stereotype, I suppose. I guess it just comes from, or this is my opinion. I think men just want like a mother they can fuck.
That is so
And
true.
in a way, when you're on a plane, you have a flight attendant. They're looking after you so much. You feel so helpless because you're in a tin can, and then someone like hands you a ginger beer, and you're like, "Thank you, I owe you my life."
Oh my god. Yeah, we are little flying heroes, I guess.
Well, you are.
Like
You are a
that.
hero.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I think nowadays the only people that really think of flight attendants as attractive are like the pilots, because I definitely see like an overrepresentation of pilot flight attendant couples. And most of the pilots, like I've already mentioned, most of them are married, so it sucks.
Oh,
It's a great culture.
Yeah, that's gross.
I don't like that. But this guy, so Clark Gregg from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the
Oh
Avengers
my god,
movies
that's where he's from.
is-
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
I was a bit like, oh, I forgot about you.
Thing is, I don't Avengers,
And I think-
so I'm like, oh, you're
Yeah.
familiar, but I don't know where you're from.
Yeah,
Right.
I just remember him from Tumblr more so. But he's there and he's like, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
So, great job. It's great for a man to have a powerful job, but not a woman.
Yeah. Of course not.
Mm.
Yeah. Then we go to the
Anyway.
rehearsal dinner for Charlotte's wedding. And so we've got Miranda, Samantha, and Carrie and Aiden. They're at a table because Charlotte's at the other table with Trey. And so Miranda's talking about how she finally got a date after saying she was a flight attendant. And, after saying she was a stewardess. And Carrie corrects her saying, oh, no, the correct term is flight attendant, I think. As a joke, I guess. And I'm like, okay. We don't have Peace and Charlotte.
She just wants to talk.
Yeah, we don't have Pete Charlotte here to correct her. And yeah, so Samantha is basically like, it doesn't matter what you say you are, it's how you say it. And she's like, for example, I'm in PR, which means I give good head.
Samantha could say anything, but if you say it in that voice, it sounds like I give good head.
That's true. Yeah. I guess PR could stand for like penis right. Penis. God, I can't come up with a good one. Sorry.
Penis right.
Penis right? Like the lawyer?
Penis
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even think about it. I don't even know, like, I could be like, I'm a chemistry and math specialist. And I feel like it just doesn't. And I
Ooh.
don't know.
But yeah, I work in chemistry. See?
Yeah,
Now-
that really does work.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That does it. Yeah.
No, not that you're trying to woo anyone at the moment, but just in case.
Just keep that in your belt.
I mean, I was unemployed the last time I got a boyfriend, so.
I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
That's what I would have to say. I'm unemployed, but sometimes I get auditions. It sounds great.
I love it. Yeah. And, okay, so Aiden is kind of like saying, okay, well, now you can't date him because, like, you're lying to him now. So, like, you can't just keep on doing that. And Miranda's kind of like, oh, I'll tell him eventually if we get there.
This
Yeah,
actually,
and then-
I have an experience like this where, like, when Noah and I were dating, I saw like a picture of, like, I don't know what it was, but I saw that he had these speakers like in the background. I was like, oh my God, I have those same speakers. And then I realized immediately that I didn't. And I was like, oh no, I just lied to him. And I was like, we'll never actually meet in person. So
Aw.
in the back of my mind, I was like keeping this lie for this whole time. And I got more and more nervous, like the closer we got to actually hanging out, that he would find out I lied about my speakers.
Oh, that's really funny.
That's adorable.
So
Yeah, so don't lie about
we
anything.
never lie ever.
No.
Ever.
But Carrie's having this moment where she's like just spaced out and we hear her voice over and she's like, but I was lying to Aiden about how I've been fucking my ex-boyfriend for weeks.
And it's like,
Just stop. Just don't do
the end
it.
of the last episode was like, it was finally over. I was finally free because I was no longer fucking Mr. Big. And then it's like, okay, it's over now, and I get that you still feel guilty about it, but it's like there's two things you can do. You can either tell him, or you're just gonna live with it. And like fucking, obviously, she's gonna have to tell him because she's otherwise just gonna dwell on this forever. And yeah, but
Yeah, it's just really annoying to hear her get so upset about like a mistake. Not just a mistake, like a choice that she made like so many times. It wasn't just like an accident. It's yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it definitely it becomes a choice after 3 or 4 times.
it was already a choice. Like I think even from the first time it was a choice. It's like, well, it's not like it's like whoopsie, we accidentally fucked.
Accidentally fell on his dick.
Carrie. But yeah, that's like the whole episode. She's just like the whole time she's just fucking can't get over that she feels so bad about lying to Aiden, and it's like we get it, but also this is all your fault. So and then
Yeah, Trey makes a speech.
gives a wee toast. It's wee.
He always knew he'd become a we.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's Scottish.
Funny because he's Scottish and he's also backwards compatible with GameCube games. And then he gives a shout out. The only reason we get his fucking toast is so we can see his Scottish cousin Caleb, who Samantha like desperately wants to fuck already. And
he came straight from the Night's Watch.
He extremely did.
I thought he was like one of the Night's Watch. He just looks like he was in Game of Thrones.
He really, really does. Yeah.
Apparently, he was born in London, so this Scottish accent, if it sounds unintelligible, it's because
it was extremely unintelligible to me.
He sounds like he's doing like the Scottish Twitter voice.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the protein. It was a terrible Scottish accent. Mine is worse, but like
yeah, I couldn't tell because I can't understand Scottish accents anyway. So I was like, I don't know if this is just me or if it's or I don't know. I wasn't sure what it was. So I can't understand any of
It
that.
just sounds like he's throwing his voice into the garbage disposal at the end of his sentence.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then we also learned that the groomsmen have to wear kilts, of course, because it's, a Scottish wedding. And yeah, so then we get Samantha introducing herself to Caleb, and yeah, so she can't understand a word he says. And despite this, she's just like, she offers to show him around town because, like, if he can roll his R's, he can roll her clit, I guess. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a great mental image.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the dress fitting at Vera Wang.
I hope that the girls don't have to pay for their own dresses.
Oh, they probably do. Yeah.
But they can, but also, like, if Charlotte's making them buy Vera Wang dresses, like, you'd hope that, like, I don't know.
But Carrie's like telling the girls that she's thinking of telling Aiden the truth about her and Big, and they're all for it except Samantha, who is like, that's a stupid idea.
Samantha's like, that ship has sailed. Like, you clearly have not been honest anyway, and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is all the same shit she's been saying the last couple episodes.
Yeah, I don't understand why nobody's giving her the advice of like, please just break up with him. Please, this is like what you need to do.
Yeah, you clearly, like, you haven't dealt with the whole Big thing well at all. Like, you're hurting him. Probably it's not best for either of you. No.
I don't understand why does he like Carrie so much? I don't get it.
No idea. Because she's eccentric.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And Charlotte's advice is because she's like, she wants her to tell Aiden, but not until after the wedding. Because she doesn't want Carrie and Aiden to be like fighting at the wedding. Which, like, yeah.
She's got a point, because it's just Carrie's going to be in a miserable mood. You don't want to have to think about your friends, dramas during your wedding. Like, listen, let's just enjoy the week and then talk to him after.
But she also said she didn't want anyone pretending at her wedding, so there's like a little paradox here.
Yeah.
And she says, it's my week.
Yeah.
This is like me on my birthday week.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah. Well, she says the pretending thing about Miranda saying she's a flight attendant, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it really does go both like onto the Carrie thing too. So
Yeah.
but then Samantha and Charlotte get into a bit of a fight because Samantha wants her dress to be shorter, and Charlotte's like, no, because it has to match the other ones. Like all the bridesmaids have to look the same, and it's the dresses are kind of. I don't like the dresses. They're boring to me.
They just look like slips.
It doesn't make any sense that they need to be the same length because they're all different necklines anyway.
They are. What is with this? I mean, like, yeah.
And then Carrie's is like more of a cream, and then the rest of the girls have more of like a nude or like a champagne.
I mean, Carrie's the maid of honor, so that made a bit of sense. But then the other girls should all be identical, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It's just a weird. There's no cohesion. They look like cocktail dresses.
Mhm.
Like Samantha's is basically a slip, so she's just popping out with it.
Yeah.
I decided not to have like bridesmaids or anything at my wedding just because it felt like very MySpace top 5 kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I don't know. If I was gonna have, I probably wouldn't have a big wedding anyway. But if I was, I would make a decision that there needs to be some cohesion. Like, okay, you're all gonna wear the same color but different dresses so it suits you. Cool. Or you're gonna have to wear the same fucking dress and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Right.
true.
Yeah, I do. There's like a certain amount that I do understand, like how Charlotte is getting kind of upset just because it's like having a birthday party and just like all your friends are fighting and it's just like, hey, but we're here for like me though.
Yeah. Samantha she sort of storms off. She's like, why am I here when I could be fucking that Scottish guy? and Charlotte's just like, leave them.
I don't really blame Samantha because Charlotte pretty much so much as says the only reason you're a bridesmaid is because I didn't want you to feel left out.
That's so mean.
Why would she say that?
It is mean.
And it doesn't come to anything. I thought that maybe like Samantha wasn't going to go to the wedding and they would have like an actual fight, but it just doesn't come to anything. It's really horrible.
Not only does she still go to the wedding and everything, but she still stays a bridesmaid and wears the dress.
Yeah, they never like address it again.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, after your friend just like, I don't like you as much as I like the other two.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of obvious that like Samantha and Charlotte clearly are very different and kind of butt heads more than any of the other girls. But at the same time, it's like it's weird for them to address it out loud.
Yeah, to each other at the dress fitting is a bit strange.
It is, but this leads Carrie to wonder. This leads Carrie to wonder.
This terrible.
This is
stupid.
This is such a bad question. Not in the way that the question doesn't make sense, like sometimes. It's just a really fucking stupid question. So she's in her apartment alone, wearing her Calliope Homestuck shirt, and she has a voiceover and it says, I started thinking about honesty. Maybe the idea is overrated. And so her question is, in a relationship, right? Like, who needs to be honest when you could just? She keeps bringing up this thing where she like cheated on a grade 5 math quiz or something, and she's like, there were no repercussions for that, for not admitting that I had lied. And I'm like, excuse me. Anyway, her question.
That's where she just spiraled to be like a liar and a cheat, and clearly no bad repercussions.
Yeah, that was like her killing joke moment. That's where that was her bad day.
Okay, so our question is, in a relationship, is honesty really the best policy?
Yes. Yeah.
It is. I can confirm it's very important to be honest. And why would you not? It's easy. Like, what are you gonna lie about? What?
Like, even if it's not easy, it's easier than lying. Like, lying is hard because you have to remember what the fuck you said. If you just tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
It's exhausting. I did tell Noah about the speakers. It's that's off my mind at last.
He forgave you.
Oh,
He did not care or remember.
I love that so much. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, the only reason she had anything to lie about in the first place is because she's a shitty person. So, like, normal, like, I don't understand. It's just,
yeah, and she lied when she met, like, when she bumped into Big. She was like, no, he's just a friend. So, with the lies, she loves him.
there's no reason. Like, I get that she doesn't want. I don't even get that one. Like, I don't understand what the point of not just saying this is my ex-boyfriend is. Like, I don't. He's married. He was married. Like, in what world is that not worth just saying? I don't know.
I think like in a relationship with like maybe your parents, it's not always good to be honest, but I feel like it's not something you can apply to your like romantic relationships. I think she got a little confused there.
Any relationship where, like, ideally you're on the same level is better. Like, you're probably not on the same power level as your parents, you know, or like your boss or something.
Yeah. Plus, like,
Definitely.
like a relationship with your boss or your relationship with your parents isn't something that you choose to be in necessarily. Whereas one with your partner or your friends, you do choose to be in that relationship. And like, especially with someone who's supposed to be like basically your like compliment, like the person that, I don't know, like, I just don't understand her disconnect here.
She just feels guilty, wants to justify her actions.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is she like literally she just wants to feel vindicated for being a shitty person. Like that's it. So she's just like worried he's gonna find out some other way that she cheated on him, and it's like either way, like it's your own fucking fault in the first place. But
yeah, if that's the case, then just tell him. But we'll get to that.
But then we get Miranda's date with the guy with this doctor man, and
she has her like scarf.
Oh
Yes,
my god!
'cause flight attendants wear scarves, obviously.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, she's like in a costume.
She also like changed her voice completely too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she's doing this sort of like sexy voice.
her sexy customer service voice.
Oh yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, she's like extremely playing up the flight attendant thing too, because she's just like talking about like being in first class and just like, oh, you'll never go back to coach after being in first class. Like you don't get a
which is like the fakest thing that you could possibly feel.
Right?
Like if you're not getting paid to work first class, like paid extra for it, it's so much worse. The people treat you so much shittier. So it's like, why would you ever want to do that?
Damn, rich people suck.
Yeah, I think they suck.
She says there's no warm cookie in coach, so
I mean, the flight attendants just share it amongst themselves. It's fine.
yeah.
I love this like insider info.
Too. I love it.
But yeah, he's like amazed. He's like, oh, well, you get to eat the cookie yourselves? And she sort of panics for a moment.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, there's always some actress who doesn't want to have her cookie.
I love it so much. And then, yeah, so they hit it off well enough that they bone. Like, they go back to Miranda's apartment, and we get to, well, Carrie's voiceover says Harris got to make love to a stewardess, and Miranda didn't have to fake anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And she's still wearing the scarf. They're having sex, and she's still wearing it. And then she just keeps going. She keeps lying because she says she wishes he could stay the night, but she has an early flight. A 5 a.m.er.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, I have to go to the emergency room anyway. It's busy ever since roller skates were invented.
That is the funniest fucking thing that I've ever heard.
I had to like rewatch that scene because I was like, wait, roller skates? Do they roller skate in the hospitals in the 90s? Like, are the nurses just rolling around? Oh, because of injuries. Got it. Okay.
They are pretty dangerous. I have like completely bailed in rollerblades before and been like, well, guess I'll die.
I have like a huge scar on my knee from falling rollerblading as a small child. So terrifying.
My friend is having like a party at like a roller skate / bar place.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I want to go. I just feel like alcohol on rollerblades is a really bad idea.
It's true. Just put your knee pads on. You should be fine.
I have knee pads.
It'll be like that music video Blow for yeah. You can just reenact that.
You're right. I was planning on having a bit of a disco-y vibe to my outfit so that I could feel the, like a Xanadu fantasy. So yeah, I'll just pretend to be Beyonce. I'll get my Wonder Woman t-shirt out.
Get your pigtails on, everything.
Yeah, so he goes, and then we move on to the bachelorette party. They're just going out for drinks before Charlotte gets married.
Charlotte's excited for the end of dating.
And Samantha is still, like, I was surprised to see Samantha there. And she's still kind of, like, sandbagging the whole thing. She's like, yeah, well, it's also the end of hoping that your next great dick is going to come by.
She makes a good point, I guess. I mean, I don't know. She clearly knows this isn't exactly what Charlotte, like, is looking for. But
right. It's not really applicable to her.
She might be psychic.
She might be.
This was actually one of the things about getting married that was like kind of a huge relief, is just like realizing, oh, I truly do not have to keep worrying about this. Like, I'm going to just have someone with me for the rest of my life. I don't have to I can just breathe. It's so nice.
So nice. Yeah, like I definitely feel more on the side of Charlotte here, where she's just like, I don't have to date ever again. And that fucking rules. Because dating fucking sucks.
It really does. It's terrifying.
I flip-flop because I'm like, I'm too young to settle down. But also, I just can't wait until like 10 years where I'm married and I've got like a dog and like a nice apartment. That's just my dream.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been in the Samantha position before, but it was mostly because, well, maybe not exactly the Samantha position, but like not the Charlotte position. The point where it's just like, where you're like in a relationship and you're like, oh my God, this is it. And I don't want this. And then you clearly at that point are like, well, obviously this is not the right thing for me. And it wasn't. And thank God. And then now I'm at a point where I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
And it's very nice to not have to think about it and just be like, oh, I'm happy and this is good. So
yeah, it's good to be happy.
I would love to feel happy one day.
What does the... Okay, right. This is where we learn that Charlotte and Trey are not fucking because fucking after Samantha says, well, your next great dick isn't around the corner, Charlotte's like, well, it kind of is because I haven't fucked Trey yet. And so my next great dick is like tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they're all like, so none of the other girls knew, and they're like, wait, seriously?
They're just shocked. Like the table goes silent. Like,
Yeah, well, Samantha makes a good point because she's just like, honey, before you buy the car, you take it for a test drive.
I've always thought it was wild that people would just wait because it's like there is so much that could like go wrong with this idea. Especially, I'm sorry to like, oh my God, trying to lose your virginity on your wedding night sounds just like a fucking bad experience.
Well, most people don't even fuck on their wedding night because usually they're too drunk.
That's true.
Like, okay, so I had this conversation the other day because a friend of mine is waiting until her wedding to fuck.
Oh.
And listen, it's for religious reasons, which,
right.
Cool. But I'm like, it's romantic and all, but I just cannot imagine. I can't.
I definitely don't think of it as romantic. Like I understand why you would want to do it, but it's not romantic because
no.
Yeah.
That could be bad. And
could be very unromantic in the bedroom.
I feel like it's better to be like your your first time, your first married fuck should be fun. It shouldn't be stressful.
Yeah.
But that's what you're setting yourself up for.
Well, I feel like it's going to almost inevitably, like, especially if you're both virgins, it's going to inevitably be bad. And then if it's bad, it's going to like set your whole marriage up to be like, oh God, did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
If you're both virgins, then it's gonna stay bad because eventually you'll probably both figure it out, but like you're gonna need to experiment a lot to find out what you like.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, listen, she's in love. I'm happy for her, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of obvious.
You don't even know if he's gonna he might not even,
if he's gonna eat your puss.
don't know. And at that point it's like you don't even know if he's marriage material if you don't know that.
If you don't mow hay, you can't take me away down the aisle.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, of course there's like relationships where people just don't care about that, and that's definitely normal too, but clearly Charlotte isn't that kind of person. Like, sex is important to Charlotte, so it is going to be important to her. So
definitely, yeah.
Nothing could go wrong.
What could go wrong?
It's like, what if he doesn't want to eat the whipped cream off of you? Like, you gotta establish all this first.
Yeah, she says she like wants to do things with him that she's never want to do with anyone. And I was like, oh, suck his dick. And then
that's what I was thinking too.
And then she says, oh no, I want to put whipped cream on my body and have him lick it off. And then Samantha is like, low fat cool whip is better, less sticky.
It's good advice. Yeah, and it's Charlotte's getting drunk at this point, and she's just like, it's been so long, I'm so horny.
God, did you see what Sam does like at the end of the scene as it's like zooming out? She's like, horny, ooh, she like makes this really funny face.
Oh yeah,
it's really good.
I mean, horny is like kind of a bit of a corny word, but it is what Charlotte would use. So
it's just really funny to see Charlotte saying the word horny.
Horny. It's like saying randy or something.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. So then after the night is booty call time, and Miranda invites over Harris, the sexy doctor. And then Samantha is back in Caleb, and he's just speaking nonsense.
Yep.
Like, I can understand Scottish accents because I'm used to them, but I'm like, no, he's clearly not saying anything on purpose. He's just saying like gobbledygook.
And there's really nothing to that scene. It's literally just that they're hooking up and he's making absolutely no sense.
It's very funny, to be fair. It's extremely funny.
And then
Carrie visits Aiden.
Yeah, Carrie shows up at Aiden's shop, and he's working on this furniture for Charlotte and Trey's wedding. Like, his wedding gift, he's making them, what is it, like a love seat, I think?
Yeah, it looks like a bench. Like, it's a fucking bench. It's not a love seat. There's no cushions or anything. It's just a fucking bench.
Well, there's no cushions yet. He could put cushions on it, I guess. But it's still very, like...
Yeah, it's just like wood. It looks like a bench.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's a pretty nice gift.
Carrie was like, you don't need to make them something, and you already have all this furniture. He's like, I made all of that too. Like, do you understand how my business works?
I love her. She's so stupid.
It's so good. Yeah, and he explains that there's like two types of wood from two types of trees on it, and they like blend together and blah blah blah. And
he's totally doing like a sexy voice thing himself.
The music in this scene too is like wild. It feels like the Eyewitness video, like the intro to those Eyewitness videos.
Oh my god!
Where you're like flying through the museum. Yeah. It's got like all these like bird calls and like flutes and stuff,
and it's like lit all like warm and dark, and it's, you know, it's very like sexual that it made me feel so gross. This went on for so long.
Yeah, it was a really long scene.
It felt like every Carrie Aiden scene felt so long because they try to make it feel really tense with like Carrie's just whole bullshit. And like this episode could have been like 5 full minutes shorter if they hadn't been so fucking annoying with these long Carrie Aiden scenes that build up like nothing. Like there's barely any dialogue in them, but
They're just boring.
It's just like them making out. And I honestly thought they were going to fuck on the love seat.
I definitely thought that too, yeah.
Which, yeah, would have been gross.
just breaking it in before giving it to your friend.
Oh, here's a present. It's got a bunch of pussy juice and cum on it.
That's what makes it the love seat, so it is an important ingredient.
Don't like it at all.
That's the distinction between a love seat and a couch.
True.
But no, they have sex in a bed.
They do. And Carrie comes close to saying the thing about Big. She wants to tell him so bad, but she just can't because it's going to hurt him. And like she has this moment where she thinks it's like a perfect time because he points out that there's this like flaw in the wood. And it's like, it's not a flaw. It's just how the wood is. It makes it interesting. And she's just like, her voiceover is like, this is the perfect time to tell him that our relationship is flawed because I'm a fucking idiot. And she doesn't do it. They just kiss.
She's like, flaws are good? Did you just admit flaws are good?
Is there good? Flaws? Interesting?
Not all of them, but okay.
Yeah, I think he's talking more about like, you know, blemishes or like even if it's a personality flaw, just like, oh, you know, maybe you're a bit sarcastic sometimes. Use comedy as a reflection.
I don't think choices are flaws. I just don't.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
No. I don't think. Yeah, but yeah, then they fuck.
And then Charlotte doesn't fuck. Charlotte's still pissed she's still drunk as shit off her ass. And she shows up at Trey's apartment and he's like, oh, you're drunk. And then she starts kissing him and she's like, okay, it's our wedding day. I don't want to wait any longer. Let's fuck. And he agrees, even though she's drunk off her ass and he's dead sober, which I was like, red flag.
Yeah. Not great.
But they can't fuck anyway.
But also, if it's the day of their wedding, then it's bad luck to see the bride.
Whoa, nothing could go wrong.
No. But yeah, they smash cut to like them in his bedroom. And he's like, sorry about that.
It was unfortunate.
And she's like, does that happen often? And he's like, sometimes. Also, did you catch how he says alrighty then?
Yes.
As he whisks her off to the bedroom?
Yeah, he's just become Ace Ventura. The transformation is complete.
I love it.
Imagine if he's just played by Jim Carrey. That would be the biggest downgrade of all time.
I wasn't paying attention, but did Charlotte like have her hand on his arm when she like suggested this? Maybe it was so like supposed to be kind of like the manipulative thing.
Oh my god, maybe.
No,
wow.
I don't think so. But
attention to detail, everyone. I wouldn't expect that from the show because it's not very good.
That's true. Yeah.
But she asks if there's anything she can do, and he's just like, yeah, you can marry me. And he kind of just mentions casually, like, I'm happy sex is just such a small part of our relationship. And Charlotte's like, who said that? Charlotte's like, she doesn't get any sleep because she just can't stop thinking about how she's going to have bad sex for the rest of her life because she fucked up.
Oh, God. This is exactly why you don't do this.
Yeah. It's bad. And
it's real bad.
So then we go to Carrie smoking on her doorstep and Aiden comes down and like this is like the third time he's seen her smoke. Well, I don't know. He keeps seeing her smoking and she's just like, I tried to quit. And it's like, he's already seen you fail at this over and over. And anyway, she comes close to telling him again.
Yeah, it's just the same thing over and over again. It's boring.
It's boring. She's about to tell him, but then she just says, I love you instead. And it's, I don't know. It's boring. We don't care.
Yeah, she's like, he's like, it's 3:00 in the morning. She's like, yeah, well, I gotta go home because that's where my dress is. And he's like, it's 3:00 in the morning. You're not going home in New York by yourself. But she does. Which is insane.
Well, I mean, we already know that, you know, Aiden's using the brain cell, so she can't use it. So then we get this scene was really good. I thought it was really funny. Miranda and the doctor are making breakfast. She cuts her finger and she cuts it pretty bad, it looks like. And she like freaks out. She's like asking him what to do, and she like shows it to him, and he hates it. He's like, blood makes me queasy. Don't show me this.
Why did he pick
"You're a
this lie?
doctor."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like, again, a doctor lie is not going to last long. Like, a flight attendant is kind of reasonable, I suppose, because you just leave. You just leave for like a few hours, and then you come back and like, oh, I was on a plane. But a doctor would fall apart, like the amount of money he has, and like being squeamish anytime there's blood sounds like a
Right.
big time. Yep, since he's not a doctor, we learn he's actually an assistant manager of an Athlete's Foot, which I guess is a store.
I guess it's supposed to be Foot Locker, but they didn't have the rights.
Athlete's Foot, isn't that?
Why would you name? Yeah, that's like That's like a health disorder. I don't know why you would name your store.
After like a stinky, disgusting foot.
Yeah.
It's gross. But he lied because he says, I always wanted to sleep with the stewardess. And Miranda decides to not tell him she lied, which is the best part. And she's just like, I hope I never have you on one of my flights. It's so good.
It's so good. This is a lie that like just works for everyone, really. Like everyone leaves happy.
I hope he lives in fear of every single flight he gets on.
That's so true. He gets on the plane and he's like just looking around, paranoid.
He does say, oh, but I never fly first class. And she's just like, no, you don't. Oh, it's really good. And then he just leaves. And that's the end of their relationship, I guess. So,
Yep.
and then Carrie's getting ready for the wedding. Aiden shows up and Carrie is running late. Like she was supposed to be at the church 10 minutes ago and she's still at her fucking apartment. So
That's so late.
I hate it. She's
God.
like, I hate it when people are constantly late for everything. And it's like, girl, it's one of your best friend's wedding. You're maid of honor. You probably should have been there like an hour earlier than everybody, but go off.
Oh, can I brag for a second?
Yes.
Okay, so the other day I had an audition and I left the house and forgot my phone, but I was already on like the first bus stop, and so I had to get off, run out, grab my phone, get back to the station, and I still got there 10 minutes early.
Oh my God. I'm clapping.
So-
I don't want to do it in the mic.
Carrie needs to grow up.
Yes, she does.
She does. It's an important day. Why is she 10 minutes late? 10 minutes late to being there, and she hasn't even left yet. So really, she's probably more like a half hour late.
To a wedding that's not even hers. If you're late to your own wedding, that's like, acceptable.
It's cute then, but
And if she was just some random, that's fine. Yeah, maid of honor, just late. So that's fine. But yeah, Aiden like kind of tries to hold her and she pulls away a bit and he's just like, okay, you never let me hold you anymore. Like, why do you keep running away and stuff? And like, it's kind of true. Like there's lots of times where we see lots of scenes where he kind of tries to be close to her and she's just like, she just looks like she's like pulling away because she feels bad or something. And it's like, it's very awkward to watch. And we finally get her confession.
Oh, can we talk about my favorite moment where he's holding the present? It's just like a little wrapped parcel. And she's like, wow, the love seat folds up nice. And he's like, it's a picture.
Yeah, it's a Polaroid.
What did she expect him to do?
she's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's really good.
Like, lug a full wooden love seat over to a church.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right. She's so fucking stupid. But he's obviously upset about it. And he's like, you go to the wedding. Like, oh, I don't want to go. Understandably.
It's a really sad scene, to be honest.
Really?
He
Yeah.
looks so sad. He's like a kicked puppy.
I just really hate how she starts out the confession by basically being like, I slept with my ex, which is like the understatement of the century. And she does mention that Aiden met him at the furniture show. And he even is just like, once? Like, you slept with him once? And she's like, no, it was more than once. And he was married and it was bad. And it's just like, you maybe shouldn't have just said I slept with my ex, because it just makes it sound like you're extremely downplaying what happened.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's just waiting for Carrie, who's fucking late as shit, of course.
Yeah, in her ugly dress. They're all wearing ugly dresses, really. So at least it's fair.
Yeah, everyone looks stupid. And we have this funny moment of Caleb like coming out to talk to Bunny, and Bunny doesn't understand him, even though she's related to him. And then Samantha has to clarify exactly, because now that she's slept with him like twice, she knows exactly what he's saying all the time.
It's like TARDIS rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you have sex with someone, suddenly you speak their language.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's great.
That's how the TARDIS works.
It's good. And then I love the Carrie's voiceover because it's like Charlotte had something old, something new, something borrowed, and something Samantha blew, which is really funny.
This whole show is something blue, so it works. It's all good.
Like blue humor. That's a very good joke somewhere. I like it.
Thanks.
And then, well, okay, so not Charlotte. Carrie finally arrived. We didn't see it, but it happened. And the bridesmaids are like starting to walk down the aisle to their spots up front. And Carrie's about to go. And then Charlotte calls her back and is just like, okay, I have to tell you that Trey couldn't get it up. They have this whole conversation at the back of the church while like everyone's just waiting for Charlotte to walk down the aisle. It's so awkward.
If Carrie had gotten there like earlier when she was supposed to be there, then they could have actually had this conversation at a better time.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's a time to bring it up. So, yeah, she mentions, okay, so he was sober and he says that's happened before. And what the fuck? Carrie, tries to be comforting. She tries to be the good friend who's just like, look, it happens to everyone. But also, if you want to leave right now, they can just deal with it and we can go. But I don't know. It basically boils down to, look, you guys love each other a lot and that's what matters. And he was probably just nervous, blah, blah, blah. And so she goes through with it because, like Carrie says, she's wearing a $14,000 dress. She was 34 years old and single. And so she's getting married. She wants it. So.
And it definitely seems like Carrie is lying to herself and to Charlotte.
Absolutely.
It is so fake.
I don't know what I would do in Charlotte's position. I honestly have no idea what I would do.
I don't think you would get yourself in Charlotte's position, so you're probably okay.
It's so true.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just wouldn't. So hard to relate to it. Can we also talk about the fact that the wedding music is being played on bagpipes?
Oh,
Sure is a choice.
I could if I marry someone Scottish, I'm just going to have to carte blanche, ban bagpipes. You can wear a kilt, that's fine, but if you play bagpipes, we're not getting married.
Bagpipes are a lot. Yeah, it's like, why don't we just walk down the aisle to geese honking? It's bad.
It just sounds like what the Scottish guy, his voice sounds like. It's just a big cobbled mess.
They make me think of funerals.
That's true, yeah.
I guess because movies always have them. I've already been to 2 funerals, so I don't really know what happens at them.
Never had a bagpipe at a funeral before. The only time I ever hear bagpipes are in the Inner Harbor in Victoria, because there's usually someone playing a bagpipe there for some reason. I have no idea why. But
weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
My whole family is Scottish, but I have somehow avoided the bagpipe wedding and or funeral. So lucky.
Lucky you. But yeah, she walks down the aisle and then the marriage goes ahead just fine. Everyone's happy and they all come outside, and then Carrie sees Aiden lurking in the background outside of the gate.
I love that he's just brooding by the gate. What?
I love a man who broods.
Love a man who broods. I just saw John Wick 3 yesterday, and there was a lot of hot brooding men. Or man, I guess.
Oh, yeah. John Wick 3. I saw it yesterday too, and it was amazing. I can't. It's so good.
It was really good.
I'm so mad. I saw that fucking shitty goddamn Robin Pattinson movie instead of John Wick 2, John Wick 3, because I was like, fine, I've got a couple hours to kill. I'll go to the cinema. And it was terrible. And I could have been with Keanu, but I wasn't. I betrayed him.
It was so good. You got to go see it, Alex. You got to see it.
Yeah, I do.
My boy. But yeah, she talks to him and she's again apologizing, and it's very sweet, but she's got her hair in a proper round donut-y bun, and it was just distracting.
And then there was like sad piano music, and I was just listening to that instead of the actual dialogue.
Yeah.
It got a bit mumbly.
Yeah, it wasn't important.
But yeah, he's just like, look, I know myself. This is something I can get over, but I need time. And she's like,
It's like the best possible reaction he could have had, and she's still so upset.
Yeah, he's being really understanding.
Mhm.
He's not even angry at her. He's just like he could have very easily flipped out and been very mad or been very emotional, but he's just like, no, go to the wedding, have fun, we'll talk after. And even then he's like, do you know what? I can deal with this. I just need some space for a bit.
Yep, very rational. Carrie's crying, and he leaves, and then it's picture time, and Carrie somehow doesn't look like absolute shit after crying her face off. I was like, if I was crying, yeah.
She must have the best makeup in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, even then, I'm like, if I cry even just a little bit, my face is fucked up all day. Like, I look like shit. If I cry, I look like shit.
God, true. Same.
You know that Tumblr post, it's like when you cry and look in the mirror to see if you're still pretty, and Margaret Atwood's voice starts blaring in your head? Like, every time I do that, my face is like swollen and red, and my eyes are tiny little buttholes.
Yes, same.
I get like these weird, not freckles, but like these big red like spots around my eyes whenever I cry too much. It's like very unflattering.
Yeah, my face gets so red.
No one looks good. Good. But she's movie crying. She's not really crying because no one sobs. Like, I think Viola Davis is the first person I've seen with a runny nose.
Yeah. When I cry, it's like even if I were to put a face full of makeup on and like covered up the redness, my eyes would still be very, very squinty because like they would just look very shriveled up and disgusting. So
God, I just remembered there was like this night that I like drank and cried a lot, and then the next morning I woke up and my eyes were like swollen shut.
My God.
It was so weird. So don't do that.
No, I think that happened to me once. I had like gunk all in my eyes.
Yeah, I feel like my eyelids were like actually like 3 times bigger than they usually are. It was so weird. Anyway, yeah. Don't do that.
No, don't cry.
Don't cry. Don't drink.
But yeah, he leaves, and then Miranda like pulls her away, like, they got to take the photos. And Miranda's just like, are you okay?
like clearly the fuck not.
No. But they go and take the photos, and yeah, Carrie's voiceover says, it's so hard to find a soulmate. Or, wait, no, isn't it someone who loves you unconditionally? But I found 3.
Yeah, something like that. And it's like, that's nice. I do love the
You don't deserve them, but
No.
doesn't deserve them. It's true. It's not like she listens to anything they say ever or anything. So
yeah.
No, because they all tried to give her advice and she didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
fools.
God, what a bad
I
friend.
know.
But that's it. Rankings?
Fuck. Forgot about this.
Same.
Yeah, me too. Until just now.
Honestly, Miranda's probably my top this week because I just thought her story was really funny.
True. Yeah.
Miranda, then Charlotte, then Samantha, then Carrie, I think.
I think I would go Samantha. No, I would go Miranda and then Samantha and then Charlotte and then Carrie.
Yeah, that's like exactly what I was going to say. Just because Samantha like learned a new language.
She did.
Yeah, now she can speak on Scottish Twitter and she knows what they're saying.
Yeah, we got questions. That's it for the episode. We've got 3 questions this week. So if you want to send in questions, you can send them to citygirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask. That's where we're getting our questions from today. So the first one is from Tumblr user Mike Dawson, a regular question asker of the show. 2 of our questions are from Tumblr user Mike Dawson. So the first one is, does Sex in the City ever have a CBT episode? That feels like common knowledge fetish. If not, which girl would date one of those dudes and how well/poorly would it go?
I really hope. It really was like, oh, cognitive behavioral therapy? Oh, yeah, all the girls get therapy? That would be great.
They really do need some cognitive behavioral theory. Therapy. They really need it. But they have not done it.
I do know what this stands for. I'm not exactly sure what it is, though.
I just think about the one scene in Casino Royale where Mads Mikkelsen does the thing to James Bond.
Oof, really glad I haven't watched that.
It's bad. That's what I think of, though.
I don't even have cock nor ball, but it hurt. It hurt me. I felt empathy.
Okay, I think I can imagine.
As far as I know, they never do this in the show, and I feel like it would go really bad. I don't know how could cock and ball torture go well? Can someone explain to me how it goes well?
Is this supposed to be like a fun thing for some people?
Yeah.
Or is it? Okay, interesting.
I mean, it's a fetish, so if someone likes it, someone's getting off.
That's great.
All right, listen. I feel like even in this situation, I would just feel bad. Like, I couldn't, as much as I like kicking someone in the balls, I couldn't do if it was someone like I love.
What's the point of hurting someone's dick and balls if they're liking it?
That's true.
Like, there's no point in doing it if they're gonna like it.
Kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Samantha or Miranda are probably the most likely to, I guess, get anything from it. Charlotte's probably the most likely one to get it just because she always gets the weirdos.
I can imagine it being like a Samantha plot, but it's like even too much for her, where she's like, oof. Yeah.
Samantha learned where her line was or something.
I guess cock and ball torture going badly is like your cock and balls being fine.
That's true.
It's true. It's like, oh, fuck, that went bad. My dick's totally okay. No band-aids needed or anything. Like, I think the part that I don't get is that it's torture. So it's like, okay, so are you just hurting it a little bit? Are you like, if it's torture, are you going to destroy the dick? Like, are you like waterboarding the foreskin? Like, I don't understand.
I think if it's like torture, I think it's just maybe over like extended periods of time.
Just like tickle torture the balls. They could maybe do that if they ever reinvented the show for the future, for the present.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Tumblr user Mike Dawson, for the question. We're experts on cock and ball torture. So the next one from same asker is, would present day Mr. Big accidentally like porn on Twitter like Ted Cruz did, or would he just not use Twitter? I love that there's like a dichotomy between you don't use Twitter or you like porn on Twitter by accident. There's no in between.
I mean, he would definitely use Twitter, right? Like, he would be big Twitter user.
He would be verified. Like,
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, no, Big would use Twitter. I don't know what he would use it for. I don't know about accidentally liking porn. I don't know how, he's definitely not super computer literate, so it's possible that he would do this, but
I think he would more like just tweet like Donald Trump, like he would have.
That's sort of what I was thinking, yeah. Just curt sentences.
Yeah, just sort of, he seems like a guy who's definitely been to a Trump party.
God.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. I feel like he would use Twitter, but it would be not very, I don't know, not interesting. It's no Dean Norris sex gifts. I think that pretty much answers that question. So the last question we have in our inbox today is from another regular question asker, PR the Disaster, who is saying, last episode, Charlotte was all say yes to the dress. So which HGTV reality show would you rather which HGTV reality show would you rather participate? Do you think the girls would be most interesting in which show?
I think it would be fun to do like trading places with the girls. Did you guys ever watch that show?
I did not.
What?
It's like they all have they have their own homes and then they trade and like they redecorate them. So it'd be really interesting. Yeah.
There was a show like that, but it was such a bad idea because like they always hated it.
Oh, absolutely. That's what made it fun to watch. They always hated it at the end. They'd like walk into their house like crying.
I don't know. I think it would be good. Well, okay, over here, say it's the dress on TLC, and like Dr. Pimple Popper is also on TLC, so I would be happy with that. I want to see their pimples get popped.
I don't want to see that.
I love it.
That's valid, but I can't can't relate.
I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of. I love Say Yes to the Dress, but
Oh, you know what would be great? This isn't HGTV, but it would be so good to see the girls just like when they're all single, to see them on Terrace House. I don't know if either of you have seen that.
yes, I love Terrace House.
Oh, that would be so much fun to see them just like paired up with whoever the executives think that they should be with. Just all of the drama, the house drama.
There would be actual drama though, because like on Terrace House, you'll have something tiny be blown up into massive portions.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have like one beer a night, and then just to see these girls be absolutely hammered, like fucking everything that moves.
Yeah, see them all like sharing their bath and everything. I think that'd be a fun time.
Baths look so good. I want to get in them. I can't think of anything. I've gone quiet on reality shows.
I also don't I don't know if I've watched HGTV much at all, really, so I don't really know many of the shows.
It's like usually the first channel that just automatically comes up when you get to a hotel, so I just end up watching a lot of it by default.
That makes sense. I don't have cable, so I'm like, I don't really watch anything ever unless it's like on Netflix or something I already watch.
That's extremely valid.
Who has cable these days? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that answers that question. So that's all our questions for this week. Thank you, everybody, for sending in questions.
Yes.
Please send in more for our next episode. Also, I guess we're going to be recording our first mummy mailbag before this episode drops. So there's not really any point.
Oh, so excited to hear this.
Send them in for the next one.
Send them in anyway. Send us in all the questions. Just let us know that that's what they're for. I guess I can talk about Patreon now. So speaking of the mommy mailbag, Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/citygirlsmakedo and become a patron of us. If you're $1 a month, you are a certified hay mower, and so you get a special role in our Discord, gives you access to bonus content like the mummy mailbag, which we're recording for the first time this week. And you also get a special Discord channel with exclusive looker pics.
Very, very good.
It's a very good reward to me as someone who gets to see Looker all the time.
They're lovely.
At the $5 level, you're a cardboard cutout of a baby. And in this tier, you get everything from the $1 tier, plus you get an even more special Discord role. Plus, you get a shout out in the podcast every week. So, shout out to our $5 donors, Mogu, Summer.
You're welcome.
Jess Ilachi, Siberian. Oh, fuck. I need to see the version of the donor list that shows the entire names. Siberian Pine Hardwood and PR the Disaster. So, thank you guys for the money. And then you can also submit stuff for me to say in Steve voice every week. We don't have one this week, but send them in to us so that I can read Steve things. At the $10 level, you're Mr. Big Spender. So everything that from the previous levels, plus you can also listen to us record the episodes every week. So you could be listening live right now. You probably wouldn't today because we're recording on a day in the middle of the day.
Yeah, well, it's like afternoon for me, but it's always different. I'm always ahead of you guys.
So true. We're in like drastically different time zones, all three of us.
We are. It's true. I'm still getting used to being out of fake ass Central Time, and it's bizarre.
That was like we were driving down the road a couple days ago, and Noah got like a Snapchat from you, and he was like, "I like how I can just tell where Stephanie is just based on the time that I get her snaps."
Aww.
Because it was like an hour earlier than usual.
That's really good. I love it. Yeah, I was in Alabama for a week where the time zone was fake as fuck. So I'm back in Eastern now. So
Thank
yeah.
God.
So shout out to all our patrons. First mommy mailbag coming soon. And we're now at like $29 a month. So we're like $21 away from Keanu Podcast. I gotta say, after seeing John Wick 3, I'm like, please let us make this podcast.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish we said it lower just because I want to do the podcast so badly.
No, I really want it. I really want to talk about Keanu because he's so good. John Wick 3 was so goddamn good, guys. It was so good.
So good.
It made me forget about the fact that last night's Game of Thrones was like one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like, it made me forget. So
Listen, right as we finish recording, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna watch it. So I will keep you updated with my thoughts and feelings.
can't wait. But yeah, so Summer, do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Stellar Ghost and on Tumblr at Interstellar Princess, or right now, Kitty Princess, in honor of my new cat, of course. And then please do check out the Avatar: The Last Airbender podcast that I do with my husband called My Pod Cabbages. We've been kind of on a hiatus for a little while just because it's been like a ridiculously busy month, but we're actually going to record the last episode of the first season this week. I'm so excited.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming.
I can't wait.
Yes.
I love pod cabbages.
Yeah, that's all my stuff. Oh, thanks.
Your cabbages this week, Summer.
Oh, God.
It's a good episode. It's a good show, and I do love cabbages and my pod cabbages.
Good, yeah.
My cabbage this week is actually this weird spicy cabbage that Noah brought home. It's really good.
Ooh.
Mm.
I would love to have a dinner party at yours because I know it's going to be good food and I know it's going to be vegan and cabbagey, which sounds great.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And we have now with our new hosting sized apartment, I want to have friends and family over for hosting events and dinners.
I swear to God, Matt and I are going to make an effort to come back to visit. We will.
Please do. It'll be a good time.
We need to see friends of the us again, and we need to meet Law.
Yes.
Yes. She's baby.
She's baby, but not for long. So
no, she's already big baby.
I love every cat. Yeah. And,
mood.
So I guess our plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at Age of Oddish. You can follow me on Tumblr at Windfall Island, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I'm just here. And never mind. I was gonna plug our Discord, but I'll do that after you.
And yeah, I'm DorkPhoenix69 on Twitter and DorkPhoenix on Tumblr, and that's all you need to know.
All right, that's all we need to know.
Fair enough.
Join our Discord. There's a link on our Patreon. There's a link on Noisepace, I think, noisepace.xyz. You can find both of them there. But our Discord is really good. It's really fun. I'm like surprised at how busy it is sometimes now because I woke up a couple days ago and I was like, oh my God, there's like all these new messages from the City Crest. I'm so excited. Anyway, it's really fun and we love
It's definitely, yeah, it has to be the best Discord server because it's like chill, but also good instead of being like a chaotic mess like most servers are.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're new to Discord, don't worry about it because it's just very chill. It's just, we're not one of those where I joined one of like a YouTuber I liked and it was just constant stream of messages and it freaked me out and I left immediately.
No, it's very chill and everyone there is super nice and we like to see you there. We like to have our friends there. So yes, join our Discord, link everywhere where you can find us online. So, yep. And that's pretty much it for this week, I think.
That's it.
What do we say to the god of sex?
Not today.
Not today?
Not today. Yeah. Mow some hay.
Mow some hay.
Later, gamers.
All right. Bye.